Hi, and welcome to Let's Talk Schools. I'm Mike Looney, the superintendent. I am so glad that you're joining us today. I have a very special and important guest with me today, Yalanda Bell. Miss Bell, welcome to Let's Talk Schools.
Thank you, Dr. Looney. Thank you for having me.
So let me ask you this. Tell the viewers something about yourself, because they may or may not know you.
Okay, my name is Yalanda Bell, and I'm the Executive Director of Academic Programs. So you might ask, what does that mean? I lead and support 4 important areas for our district. So first is Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, which is JROTC. Career Technical Agriculture Education, CTAE. I also lead the Early Childhood Program, our pre-kindergarten program. And then last but not least, the biggest program is the Specials Program, which includes Health and PE, Advanced Studies, which is AP and IB, the Teaching Museums, Innovative Curriculum, as well as TAG, Talented and Gifted, and then last but not least, Summer School.
Well, you covered almost all the academic gamuts. And so automatically I'll say this, you have to come back because we need to spend a lot of time in each of those areas talking about the wonderful things happening here in Fulton. But today, I wanted to talk a little bit about summer school.
Okay.
First of all, we are going to have summer school. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect for summer school this 22-23 summer for our students and families?
Yes, so last year we had the biggest summer school that we've ever had. We had 10,000 students that took summer school classes face-to-face or through Fulton Virtual School. So we are very excited about this year's summer school. It is going to be a 4-week program, so June 8th through July 8th for students in grades 1 through 12.
June 8th through
July 8th.
July 8th. Yes. And there's a little bit of window there because of the July 4th weekend, I guess. Is that a long weekend? And then they come and finish up?
So we will have 2 holidays, July 4th and Juneteenth.
Okay. And so I know that a lot of times people think of summer school as, it's more stuff. But is our summer school going to be different this year?
It is different. It's going to be very intentional for students that may have struggled this year in our face-to-face summer school, right? And so we really want to make sure to provide a personalized experience for those students in face-to-face summer school. So a smaller learning environment, again, for students that may have struggled in some key concepts throughout the school year.
So are we anticipating this summer to be as large or even larger than last summer?
We anticipate about the same enrollment, but we really want to be intentional with face-to-face summer school, that these are students that really need to come to summer school and be in that smaller learning environment. So face-to-face summer school is not for students that are accelerating, but for students that really need that focus and intentional support from our teachers.
Okay, so what qualifies somebody to come to summer school? Is everybody eligible? Do you have to be invited? Is it like, getting a prize and, you got the golden ticket to come to summer school? What is that like?
So there is an invitation and there is invitation criteria. This year we are requiring summer school for students that do not pass milestones in grades 3, 5, and 8. And then we are strongly recommending summer school around other criteria, like a teacher recommendation, or maybe they might be being retained and things like that. In high school, we are requiring summer school for students that do not pass their end of course classes. So those 4 classes where there's an end of course test, we're going to require summer school for those students.
Okay, so if I'm in a 3rd grade and I didn't pass milestones, mm-hmm. math, mm-hmm. then I'm going to be required to come to summer school.
Yes.
And so what should a student and his or her family expect to experience in summer school as a result of not passing milestones in the 3rd grade?
So we're just going to give them a lot of intentional focus and support. At the elementary level, we're going to focus on ELA, or language arts and literacy, and math. In the literacy, we're going to focus in some key concepts like vocabulary, reading comprehension, and fluency, and again, as well as numeracy. In middle school, we're going to again focus on English language arts and math, but we're also going to get a little bit of a preview of their social studies and science content for the next year. And then at the high school level, we're going to allow them to retake the courses that they did not pass in 9 subject areas and be able to get credit for those classes.
So credit recovery at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start there. So if I failed Algebra 1.
Yes.
I can go to summer school, recover that credit, and then be prepared for the next level high school math class.
So you can come to summer school, you can take the Algebra 1 class and receive that credit, yes.
And are they going to cover the entire Algebra 1 content, or is it individualized, or what does that look like?
It's very individualized. We call it competency-based.
Okay.
So students will be able to sit with their teacher, really will do some work in trying to figure out why they did not pass this school year, and then be able to do some intentional work to make sure that they can receive that credit.
Wow, so it's kind of compact, the idea that they work on the skills they didn't master instead of repeating the entire course content.
In our face-to-face summer school, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Now, what about for those families? And I'm going to come back to well, let's keep it here.
Okay.
So I understand how high school is working, and elementary and middle. So is it going to be the same credit recovery, or is it going to be more comprehensive than the credit recovery process?
It's more comprehensive at the elementary and middle school level. Like I said, summer school is going to be about 4 weeks, and we're going to focus on that literacy and numeracy. In middle school, we'll preview social studies and science, but it's not competency-based. We want the students to stay for the 4 weeks. They will stay and receive that intentional support.
Okay, and so it's going to be like power standard, the most important standards in third grade math or fourth grade English or whatever it might be.
Right.
So what are the hours of summer school?
So we are doing 3 staggered bell schedules.
Okay.
So elementary is starting at 7:40. Middle school is going to end about 1:20. So it's 4 hours for each grade level or each grade band.
And are parents going to have to transport their child, or is the district going to provide busing service?
So the district is providing transportation. We call this transportation high density stops. It's something that we've done the past couple years. So we really look at some central locations in every single community that parents can get students to, and we pick them up from there.
Okay.
We'll also utilize our Here Comes the Bus app so that parents can have that routing information, and all the routes will be posted the beginning of May.
So not door-to-door service, but stops, kind of the old way we used to do it. I used to have to stand at the bus stop instead of door-to-door service.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do door-to-door service for our students with special needs. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
Yes.
And because it's 4 hours long, we're providing transportation. What about meals?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We will feed your students
Okay.
breakfast and lunch. for
Breakfast
free.
and lunch.
Yep.
Free breakfast and
Free.
lunch. Whether you qualify for free or just lunch or not, or
Free for everybody.
free period.
Yes.
So you get 2 squares, you get some good instruction, get to hang out with some of your friends, learn some stuff. Sounds pretty interesting to me.
In elementary, you also get recess. And we're also doing specials, so you also get your health and PE, fine arts, performing arts, and some of those areas too.
Okay. You know, a lot of parents might say, you know what, I know that this is important, but my child will eventually catch up. Tell us why they should make sure that their child goes to summer school now, rather than waiting for some future date to catch back up.
Yeah, I think the time is now, right? So we've had some challenges the last couple of years, and so we just want to continue to be able to provide these opportunities for students to receive this additional support during the summer. And so I would encourage all of our students and parents that have that requirement, or they get the letter saying they're strongly recommended, to come to summer school.
Okay, very, very good advice. So let's talk about another segment of students. I know that we have some students that want to accelerate their learning. Mm-hmm. So the regular summer school for catching back up or making up the learning from the learning disruption is free.
Right.
What about for those families that want to accelerate their learning?
So the acceleration option is only available through our Fulton virtual program. Okay. And with that program, it's the middle school world languages courses, and high school courses. So to accelerate, it is tuition based.
Okay. And what would the tuition be for a course?
It depends on, we do have some decreases as far as free and reduced lunch. But there is a tuition cost to it.
Okay. So if a family wants to know more about this summer's summer school programming, where do they go? How do they get more information?
So I think my advice first is that if you have a question about summer school, for parents to talk to their teachers first, right?
It's always good advice. Talk to your
Right.
teacher first.
Yes, talk to your teacher first. See if the face-to-face option or the Fulton virtual option is something that would be right for your students, especially if you received a letter saying that you've been required or strongly encouraged to come to summer school. So talking to that teacher first is good. But we do have a website, fultonschools.org/summer school, where all the information is posted.
So I have to ask a hard question.
Okay.
We're going to have somebody that says, I know I'm required, but I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. So if a parent says no, they refuse to send their child to summer school, despite their child being behind, what's the end result of that?
So we do have an opt-out option for summer school. You would go through the same registration process as you would if you're registering your student, but instead of saying, I want to take this class, it says, I want to opt out from taking summer school. We do want our families to know that at grade levels 3, 5, and 8, if they do opt out for summer school and they have not passed the Georgia milestones or they do not take the milestones, our recommendation is going to be in grades 3, 5, and 8 that those students are retained in their current grade.
Oh, okay. So if they don't prove that they've mastered the content in 3, 5, and 8, and the parents say, no way, my child's not going to summer school, then there is a retention committee that meets, and potentially that child would be retained.
Yes, yes. And we want parents to, there is an appeal process, and so parents can meet with the local school to have those conversations and figure out next steps with the local school.
Okay. Wow, a lot of things happening this summer. Free summer school for students that need to make up from the learning disruption. The potential for students to accelerate their learning through the Fulton Virtual School. We're providing meals, 2 meals a day, healthy, nutritious, well-balanced meals. We're providing transportation.
Right.
I know that summer school can be exceedingly fun as well. In addition to the academic positive benefits of summer school, one other benefit, socialization and being with your peer groups is incredibly important. Talk to us about the benefit of students attending summer school and continuing to build relationship with school officials, with teachers, with administrators, and with their peers.
And with new friends, right? So we are having summer school at over 30 sites across the district, but that doesn't cover all of our elementary, middle, and high school, right? So you might be at a summer school site with students from multiple schools. So this is an opportunity to meet new people, make new friends, and again, like you said, that socialization I think is really important, especially during the summer, right?
And will summer school include benefits of counselors and social workers and all the other things that come with school?
Yes, yes. We will definitely have counselors, social workers, clinic aides, full administrative staff.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a really busy summer.
It is.
And parents, I know that you want to help your child succeed academically, whether it's to make up for the incredible learning disruption that happened as a result of COVID, or whether you're interested in your child accelerating in some learning. We have opportunities and availability in 30 of our schools and in our virtual setting. So please, please, please ask your child's teacher, your child's school administrator for more information if this is informative to you and your child qualifies in one way or another. Thank you so much for joining Let's Talk Schools. I look forward to seeing you again soon.